Welcome to Making the Most of LinkedIn, a JVS career and employment presentation to help you build a professional profile and maximize your use of this social media platform. As part of your internship requirements, you will be asked to work on and improve your LinkedIn profile. To track this, you will create a PDF of your current LinkedIn page and send that to Jen Landy. A description of how to do this will be provided on the next slide. After reviewing this presentation, you will make changes to your LinkedIn profile based on the information provided. You will then send a new PDF to Jen at a later date. To save your profile in PDF format, either click on the Me button in the upper toolbar and select View Profile, or you can simply click on your picture to get to the same place. It is the screen where edits can be made to your profile. And then click on the More button just below your picture and select Save to PDF from the drop-down box. You can see this circled in the screenshot to the right. Let's spend a moment discussing the importance of LinkedIn and other social media in the workplace. A 2018 Career Builder survey of over 1,000 employers had some interesting results. 47% of the surveyed employers indicated that they would be less likely to interview a candidate if they couldn't find some trace of them online. Now, while this primarily means LinkedIn, employers will also check Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and other social media platforms. Many employers stated they weren't just trying to weed out candidates, they were also looking to either confirm what was on a resume or find additional information that worked in the candidate's favor. However, 57% reported that they had decided not to hire a candidate based on what they found on social media profiles. And checking online for a person's information is only growing. Since 2006, using social media to screen candidates has jumped from 11% to the current 70% of employers who regularly do this. I thought it might be interesting to look at some of the reasons that employers have disqualified candidates based on their social media content. The number one reason, at 40%, is having inappropriate or provocative photos, videos, or other information online. 36% of employers have not hired a candidate because of posted information around them drinking or using drugs. Another 31% have disqualified a candidate due to discriminatory comments related to protected groups, such as race, gender, and religion. Lying about qualifications came in at 27% of employers. Two other areas that are particularly interesting: candidates having badmouthed previous companies or fellow employees caused a quarter of surveyed employers to disqualify a candidate. Also, a candidate that posted too frequently caused a 12% decline in hiring. I'm not exactly sure how to interpret that, but I found it interesting. So just something to keep in mind. You can be judged and denied a job or even fired based on anything that you post. Even if you think that it is simply something that you are posting unrelated to your potential employer or even current job. The most common and most professional online network is LinkedIn. Certain specific fields might require a presence on other social media platforms. For example, journalists should be on Twitter, photographers should be on Instagram, etc. But all fields can successfully utilize LinkedIn. It is the world's largest professional network with more than 590 million users in over 200 countries. Each month, there are over 260 million active users worldwide. And the platform now has over 26 million companies with profiles and posts on average 15 million active job listings. Also, 40 million students and recent college graduates have profiles on LinkedIn as of December 2018. That number is sure to grow. So why use LinkedIn? Well, I've already mentioned the importance of having an online presence, but there are other reasons that having a LinkedIn profile is beneficial to you. It is an excellent way to stay up to date with and grow your professional contacts and keep informed about the latest trends in your industry. With notifications, you are reminded when a contact has a work anniversary or changes jobs so that you can keep in touch professionally. Depending on the groups you join or people you follow, you can stay up to date on the latest trends and discussions in your field. You also can use it to control and promote your professional identity and brand online. You can use it to help mold the image of who you want to be in today's workforce. This is important to help others know about your professional self and the value that you bring to the table. The site also has other practical benefits. You can use it to research information about companies or find out more about individuals with whom you might want to connect. It also is an excellent job posting platform that keeps you informed about open positions in your area or across the world. I would place it in my top 2 job posting sites online, if not number 1. Setting up a decent beginning profile requires at least your name, a headline, a summary, your work experience, and education. But that's just for starters. You really want to customize your profile by having all the basics and adding things like skills and endorsements, volunteer experience, group projects, internships, awards, languages, and recommendations. In short, anything that you can add that makes a more robust picture of you. It includes everything that you have on your resume, but it has the flexibility to offer more, to share with someone more about who you are professionally and to a degree personally. To get started, you will want to upload a professional picture of yourself, only a headshot and in industry appropriate attire. If you have reservations about posting a picture, that's completely understandable. Some people worry that it will expose them to gender, age, or racial discrimination. However, know that people tend to be more receptive to profiles with pictures. In addition, if you have a common name, or honestly, even if you don't, people will often use the picture to differentiate you between individuals for whom they are looking. It's your call. You can also use a different background than the default. But remember, if you do, keep it professional. In the example on the screen, you see an evening skyline shot of Chicago, completely appropriate for where I live and work and perhaps more interesting than the default background. Customizing your LinkedIn URL is important. This is something that you will want to include on your resume. If you have a URL with a long string of numbers and letters after your name, it will look cumbersome and certainly would be hard to remember. So when you are in the View Profile area where you can make edits, click on Edit Public Profile and URL at the top right to customize your profile name. Try it first by just deleting the extra numbers and letters. If your name is already taken, try adding your middle initial. If that doesn't work, you can add 1 or 2 numbers after your name to make it unique without being too awkward. In addition, once you've selected Edit Public Profile and edit your custom URL, you can select Edit Visibility, which is the second option below that. When building your profile, you may not want people to see your rough draft. Also, while you are building or editing your profile, every change you make sends a notification to your contacts that edits have been made. Until your profile is pretty much complete, it's probably best to switch off your visibility and change your notification settings to exclude notifications about changes in your public profile. Two important and often underutilized parts of LinkedIn are the headline and summary sections. When you go to the Edit Intro section, after you've went to View Profile and clicked on the blue pencil by your photo, you will insert a headline and include a summary about your career identity in this section. Those terms will be defined on the next slide. A headline, or branding statement if you prefer, is a brief comment on your career identity or your professional area of interest. If you do not edit this, it simply shows your last job title and employer as a default. That may work if you have a very specific career interest and you've been working in that area, but it will be lacking if you've last done work outside of the work for which you are looking. A summary helps expand your headline and includes more about who you want to be in the world of work, as well as your skills, values, etc. That you bring as a robust part of who you are. These two sections together should summarize what value you bring to the table as much or more as looking at your work history. Here we see some examples of what headlines look like. These are actual examples from real people currently on LinkedIn. In the first three examples, you can see that the individuals are stating what field they are studying and or the area in which they seek employment, whether full-time, entry-level, or internship. But we also learn more about each person's skills or education that informs their career direction. The last example is included to show that the headlines do not have to be fancy. If you know the area or profession in which you are most interested, you may simply state that. In this case, the person also wanted to mention the level at which they are applying. Short, sweet, to the point. Summaries can be used to expand upon your strengths, your personality, your interests, and your work values. Having a summary allows you to have a more complete picture of who you are than just what is mentioned on your resume. Here you see two short summaries that still give a better sense of the value-added person that a potential organization might get. As you mature in your career, your summary will expand and become more robust. But even at this stage in your career, it allows for more positive information to be imparted to a potential employer. When you are detailing your work and other experiences, such as internships, volunteer experiences, or leadership roles, you will want to really think about the skills you used, the scope of your experience, and the impact you had. In other words, the results of your work. Writing with dynamic action verbs, you will want to describe success stories from your experiences and provide details about what you did to contribute to and add value to an organization or your successes in a leadership role. When adding this information, it is very similar to what you have on your resume. However, you can add additional information on LinkedIn that you might not have space to include on your typically one-page resume. You may place volunteer experiences, participation in other organizations, and relevant coursework into separate sections if you like. In the Edit Profile section, you can select different headings by selecting Add Profile section just under your profile picture. Endorsements and recommendations are two ways to add more substance and proof of your skills. Endorsements are achieved by adding skills that you believe that you are particularly good at, and then having people you are connected with click on those skills and virtually endorse that you indeed merit a recognition for that skill. Only people with whom you are connected can endorse a skill of yours. You can encourage people to endorse your skills by going to your first level connections and endorsing their skills. LinkedIn will then prompt those individuals to endorse you in return. Recommendations are more like a mini reference from people with whom you are connected. You must ask people for recommendations, whereas people can endorse you on their own. There are a couple of ways to request someone to write a recommendation for you. Once you have the recommendation section added, you can request someone write a recommendation directly from there. Prior to having your recommendation section, you would go to the profile of the person you want to write a recommendation for you. Then you click on the More button below their photo and scroll down to select Request a Recommendation. LinkedIn will then help personalize your request to that individual and send them a message. There are many ways to connect with others on LinkedIn. One of those ways is to use your connections by asking them to make introductions. You may also want to introduce others via LinkedIn as well. You can ask one of your connections to share your profile information with one of your connections. You can also share a profile with another of your own connections if you think they would make a good networking contact with each other. Remember, you want to use this platform to help you expand your network, research companies, find out the latest information in your field, stay up to date with groups of interest, and look for current job openings. You can easily search for people, jobs, companies, groups, and schools. You can also narrow your searches by using filters to look for people in certain locations. Locations, industries, companies, etc. Once you've found people of interest, you can then request connecting with them. There are many settings that you can adjust with LinkedIn. These have to do with your general account, your privacy, or what information is seen by whom, security, and how LinkedIn and other third-party partners may communicate with you. It will be worth your time to go through each and every one of these settings to make sure you know how your information is being used and to specify precisely who you want seeing your information. So, after you've set up your profile and adjusted all your settings, how do you make the most of LinkedIn? For one, you will want to make sure that your profile is personalized and gives a robust idea of who you are or who you want to be as a professional. In other words, making sure it reflects your career identity. You will also want to join groups of interest. A great benefit of joining a group is that you have unlimited messaging to any other member of the group. Without purchasing LinkedIn Premium, you are normally limited to 10 messages per month. Be sure you are being active in endorsing skills of your connections. This will help prompt them to endorse you. Research companies and affiliated people in your career area of interest. Don't be afraid to reach out to others and expand your network. LinkedIn is an excellent resource to look for online job postings. However, beware of the temptation of easy apply. Easy Apply is a one-click way of applying to positions using your profile information and an uploaded resume. Unfortunately, it does not allow you to upload additional documents, such as cover letters or lists of references. Not having a cover letter can possibly put you at a real disadvantage with your application. Also, if you upload a resume to LinkedIn for use in easy apply situations, you do not have the flexibility to tailor your resume to the specific job to which you are applying, another real disadvantage. Lastly, because of the simplicity of easy apply, it tends to tempt people to apply for jobs that don't fit well with their skill set or what they are looking for. In most cases, going to the company's website and applying directly through them is the best way to go. So remember, this is a platform designed to be used. It is to be used for networking, researching organizations, looking for jobs, and keeping up to date in your field. If you simply put up a profile and never check it, edit it, or use it, you really can't expect it to work for you. It is only as useful as the use that you put into it. If you have problems with setting up your profile, or if you have questions about your account, you can scroll to the bottom of the main page and find the link for Help Center. Once in Help Center, you can ask specific questions or you can read information about the most popular actions that LinkedIn users inquire about. And that brings us to the end of the LinkedIn presentation. As a reminder, you need to create a PDF of your current LinkedIn profile and send it to Jen Landy. You will then make revisions based on the information that you have been provided with during this presentation. You will then create a new PDF of your profile to be sent to Jen at a later date. Thank you very much. I hope you have enjoyed this presentation from JVS Career Employment, a part of the JCFS Chicago family of services.